Welcome to Live Daf, your online Daf Yomi Shir.
Shalom Aleichem and welcome back to today's Daf Hayomi Maseches Nazir Daf Samach Gimel. We are right on top, beginning with the Mishnah. Nazir shegilach v'noid alei shehu tamei. So in today's Daf, we're going to learn about Tumas HaTohaim. Tohaim literally means the depths of the earth. It means a tumah which was hidden, a tumah which was concealed, unknown. And there's a special halacha Moshe Sinai, that in fact Tumas HaTohaim has leniencies with respect to a Nazir, with respect to a person who's trying to bring his Karban Pesach, as we're going to see in the Gemara. So again, we have a Nazir who is Gilach, meaning he did his 30 days, he's done his Nazirus, he even shaved his hair. He's totally finished. Then he discovers that he touched Tumas Meis sometime, before he finished his Nazirus. So during his Nazirus, he became Tummy. But he only discovers it now, after he's done. We know that typically, a Nazir becomes Tummy. What happens? It's Seiser. It destroys, it cancels his Nazirus. He has to start over. So im Tumah Yudua, if it was a known and revealed Tumah, Seiser. So in fact, even though he found out about it now, it cancels his Nazirus. He must redo it. But v'im Tumas HaTohaim, if it was a covered, concealed, unknown Tumah at the time, only discovered now, no harm was done. Ein Seiser, we have a special halacha, it doesn't affect his Nazirus. But that's only provided he discovered this episode after Giluach, once he's completely finished his Nazirus. But if he discovers this before his Giluach, then it doesn't matter. Benkach, whether it was a regular Tumah or a Tumas HaTohaim, Seiser, it cancels the Nazirus. Ketzad, how does this halacha work? Yorat litboil b'mara. So this Nazir went to do a tefillah in a cave, a rishus hayachid, a private domain, in which case, when there's a suffix, tumah b'rishus hayachid, we say it's tamei, right? So for some reason he went to the tefillah, not tumas meis, he touched the sheretz, okay? So he was tamei somewhat, he needed to be toivel. V'nimtza meis, tzaf, al pi amara. And then they discover a mace or a kazais or a mace floating at the opening of the cave right when you go in. That's a regular tumah. And since there's a suffix, whether he touched it or not, suffix whether he leaned over it or not, and it's a rishus hayachid, so we say he's tamei, and it cancels his nazirus. That's not tumas HaTohaim, it's a regular tumah. Suffix tumah is tamei, and it's seiser nazirus. But nimtza meshuka b'kaka mora, let's say it's been discovered sunk on the bottom. It's been found on the bottom, on the floor of the mara. That's Tumas HaTohaim. So Yorad lahakir. Now, if the reason for him immersing in that water, in the ma'ara, was simply to cool off lahakir, he wasn't tummy, he just wanted a dip, then we say that he remains tahar. So we're speaking about this Nazir after Giluach. He discovers that 1 second. Last week when he went to the Ma'ara to take a dip, there was really a mace on the floor of the Ma'ara. It's okay, he's tar, because he's dealing with a Tumas HaTohaim. However, Litayr mitumas mace. If the reason for him immersing in that mikveh, in that Ma'ara, was to cleanse himself of Tumas mace, which he had, he was ready Tumas mace. He went through the 7 days, the paraduma. On the 7th day, he's toivel. And that was the purpose of his tevilah. And then he finished and he went back to Nazirus and he did Giluach, and now he discovers, oh my, look what happened. Last time when I went to be toivel from Tumas Meis, there was some sort of mace there, I may have touched it. In this case we say, Tamei. We treat him as Tamei, despite it being a tumas hatoim. You know why? Shecheskas tamei. When a person already has tumah on him, it's presumed that he remains tamei. V'cheskas tar, as opposed to a person who is presumed to be tar, he remains as such. Because we look at your track record, so to speak. Shuraglaim l'davar. There's grounds for it. There's basis for it. You're already tamei. Let's assume that you're tamei by touching this thing as well. Meaning, you see, it's a big chiddush here. We're speaking about tumas hatoim, which tells us that the halacha tells us that even if you certainly touch that tumah, vandai. You see, the Mishnah spoke about a suffix, but the Mepharshim explain, and based on the Gemara and Amid Beis, even if we know with certainty 100% that the Nazir actually came into contact with that tumas hatoim, he's okay, he's safe. Being that it was only discovered now, right? Still, the Mishnah tells us it's only when he was presumed to be tar, but if he was known to be tumah and he went to cleanse himself of that tumah, and by doing so, during that process, he encountered this possible tumas hatoim, right? They found the mace on the bottom, perhaps he touched it. We don't give him the discount of tumas hatoim. Because once he was tamei, that's it. The Svara says that the halacha al-Meshim was only set for somebody that was tar, but not somebody who was already tamei. Interesting aspect of this halacha. Okay, but not immediately. How do we know that you get a discount for tumas hatoim? Amar Belazar, we have a pasuk Damakra. This is by Nazir. He encounters a mace. It says olav b'mechuberes, something which is clear to him, known to him, something revealed, as opposed to something hidden and concealed. Rish Lakish Amar, we have a pasuk by Karban Pesach, Amakra, Ki tamil nefesh derech rechaika. He was tamei or on a trip. We compare tamei to derech rechaika. We say ki derech. It has to be like the derech. Ma derech begali, just like a road is revealed and known. Af koil begali. Likewise, tumah has to be in the same fashion, known and revealed, as opposed to concealed and unknown. Asks the Gemara. Vela Hadasanya. Let's take a look at the Brisa coming up on the other side of our daf, which says Ezeu tumas hatoim. How do you define tumas hatoim? Kol she'eino makir echad b'sefer olam, something which is blank to everybody. Nobody knows about it. Aval makir echad b'sefer olam. But if even one person somewhere in the other side of the world knows about it, Ezeu tumas hatoim, it doesn't qualify as tumas hatoim. Now, let's analyze this halacha based on the psukim that we just brought and see if it fits. So Rish Lakish is drasha, which is, well, it has to be like a derech and revealed. Shaper. We can understand in this halacha that even if somebody out there knows about it, then it qualifies. It's like a derech. It's begali. It's known. And it's not considered tumas hatoim. But according to Rabbi Lez's drasha, it has to be revealed and known to this person who's encountering this tumah. So then, kimakira echad b'sefer olam mayavi. Who cares if somebody in China knows about it? That's a kash. If it's not known to him, to this person, it's for him a tumas hatoim. So Rabbi Lez's drasha is sort of not really matching up with the halach and the brisa. Visu, another question. Hadasani, you have a brisa. Hamaitze meis mushkav. So this is actually the brisa in Amid Beis. The previous brisa was the Gemara in Pesachim. So the brisa says Hamaitze meis mushkav l'rach b'shel derech. Person discovers, encounters a mace lying across the road, over the width of the road. So you're gonna have to meet the mace when you walk by. You certainly encountered the mace, but since it was unknown at the time, it's tumas hatoim. So betruma tami. So regarding your status concerning achilas truma, you consider tami. However, but Nazir, I say it's Pesach Torah when it comes to Nazir, our Mishtor, to disqualify you from bringing your Karban Pesach, tumas hatoim, you get a discount, you get a pass, your tar. Now, if this halacha is based on the pasuk, of Rabbi Lezer or Rish Lakish, then what's the difference between Truma and Pesach? If you're tar, you're tar. Ma'ishno. So we have big kashas on these drushes. Elo, rather, says the Gemara, these drushes are just supports, hints, asmachtes. But the actual Tumas HaTayim is Gemara, Gemirla. It's learned from Halacha Meshim Sinai, and it was only packaged in this way, only for the Nazir and days of Pesach. Only something which is unknown to anybody. Only something which has been discovered at this late phase, after the Giluach, or by the Korban Pesach, after the Zrikas HaPesach. It only involves Tumas Meis, etc., etc. So Mishnah says, well, if he discovers it after Giluach, he's safe. Imat Shalei Giluach, before Giluach, then he's in trouble. Mantana, who's the one that holds the Giluach? Is that pivotal point, is the end of the Nazirus? Rabbi Yehuda Kessler. This is Rabbi Lezer, Dama Tiglachas Ma'keves. Haircutting is crucial. Until then, you can't drink wine. The Tiglachas is the conclusion of the Nazirus. And therefore, Tumas HaTayim discovered before that is still considered unsafe territory and affects you. After Giluach, then you're safe. Boy, Rami Bar Chama, I have a question. A Nazir became Tamei, Nitma. Now, the Gemara will explain that this question is based on Rabbi Lezer. Rabbi Lezer's Shita is, not Rabbi Lezer here, Rabbi Lezer back in the other part of the Masechta. He spoke about a Nazir becoming Tamei and Seised the Nazirus. It depends when he became Tamei. Toich Malays, within the 30-day system, then it affects the whole thing, it cancels everything. But if it happened La'achar Malays, after 30 days are up, even before Giluach, but once he's done his 30 days, it's a whole different system. It's based on the pasuk Zois Teres HaNazir Achar Malays Tein Le Teres. Allah is only going to cancel 30 days. Only going to cancel 7 days. He has to become tar, and that's it. He gets back on track. He doesn't really cancel his Nazirus. That's Rabbi Lezer's Shita. So questions like this: Nitma b'seich malays. Suppose a fellow became Tamei, a regular Tumah or Tumas HaTayim, doesn't matter. It happened way back when on day 25. He only discovers it now after 30 days, before the Tiglachas. Mahu, what is the halacha in this case? Basar Yediya Azlinan. Do you focus on the moment of knowledge? He discovers it now, okay. It happened after 30 days, we're up. He doesn't need to cancel the entire Nazir, it's only 7 days. Oy or not. You focus on the moment of Tumah, which happened back on day 25 within the Malais. Ulamai, what's the question pertaining to? Lemister. How much is it going to cancel? Amaravat Tashma, we have a right from our Mishnah. So Mishnah begins, a guy discovers the Tumas HaTayim after Giluach, he's okay, he's safe. So it's clear that if it happened before Giluach, he's not safe. It's Seiser. So why does the Mishnah have to repeat again and say, well, if it happened before Giluach, then he's Seiser? Seems to be an extra part of the Mishnah here. An unnecessary Mishnah. Amaravat Hashma, I'll bring you right from the Lashon Mishnah, which says, Imat Shaloi Gilach. The Mishnah repeats itself. Well, if he discovers this Tumah before Giluach, so apparently the Chiddush of the Mishnah is even a regular Tumah. If it happened before Giluach, Benkach u Benkach Seiser, whether it's a regular Tumah or Tumas HaTayim, it's Seiser. Hey Chidami, what's the case? Idis Yadalei B'Seich Melois. If he discovers this Tumah within the 30-day period, Tzricha L'Meimer, why discuss it? It's Pashut. And Taisus points out, well, maybe it's coming to tell you that it applies even to Tumas HaTayim. If it was discovered within Malayis, he's in trouble. Well, Taisus says, the Mishnah already spoke about that. Tumas HaTayim only kicks in when it's been discovered after Tiglachas. Apparently beforehand it's a problem, like any other Tumah. So why does the Mishnah have to repeat it again? Well, if he found out Teich Malayis, he's in trouble. If it's Tumas HaTayim, of course, there's no difference between Tumas HaTayim and regular Tumah. There's no Chiddush. We already know Tumas HaTayim is only going to benefit you if it happened after Tiglachas. So, hey Chidami, what's the case? Why do you need to tell me that before Giluach, Tumah before Giluach is Seiser? Idis Yad Leil B'Seich Melois. If he discovered this fact during the actual 30-day period, Tzricha L'Meimer, what's the Chiddush? Of course it's Seiser. Elo Lav La'achar Melois, apparently. Although the Tumah took place within 30 days, but he discovered it only later on. after 30 days were up, before Giluach, but after the Malais was done. Shmamina. So it's clear that we're speaking about that case. But that brings us to our question. I understand he's affected by this tumah, but to what extent? Is it a 7-day issue or a 30-day issue? Kula Yisayser, does he cancel everything because the tumah occurred within the 30 days? Or Yeshiva Yisayser, or is he only going to cancel 7 because the knowledge only arrived today after the Malais? Now, Laman, who's the question pertaining to? Ilim Rabban. According to Shittas Rabbanan, Pshita, of course, there's no difference. The Kula Yisayser, whether it's within the 30, after the 30, it cancels everything. There's no differentiation. It's only a question of Rabbi Lezer. Vila Rabbi Lezer. Kol achar Malais Shiva Yisayser. Rabbi Lezer says, well, after Malais, it only cancels 7. So what's the question? Amalach will respond. Basically, the Gemara is just like going through the steps here. What is our question? Like this. Hanimila, perhaps, the Tuma achar Malais, which only cancels 7 according to Rabbi Lezer. Ki nitma achar Malais. Perhaps that's only if the tumah occurs later, after Malais. But this tumah occurred earlier, day 25. So there's a full cancellation policy here. Or perhaps we can say, Shani here it's different. The idea. Let's look at the idea. When did he discover this information? Achar Malaisi. That happened after Malais, so it doesn't affect and doesn't cancel the whole thing. Says the Gemara, we know, let's take a close look at the wording of the Mishnah, which indicates that in fact he gets a discount. The idea is what determines. Ketana, because the Mishnah says, right, in this halacha we say, Benkach soiser, if it happened before Giluach, either way, whether it's a regular tumah or tumas hatayim, it cancels. And for the Mishnah is not machalik, differentiated between this case and that case. Apparently, in all cases, we say it's only a 7-day cancellation. Just like if he's tummy after Malais, it's 7 days. Even if he was tummy toich Malais, but he only discovered it after Malais, it's a 7-day cancellation. So we in fact go l'kula, which is a big chiddush. Okay, so back to the essence of Tumas HaToim. Tanu Rabbanan, we have a brayso which describes it in great detail. I might say mace mutal l'rach v'shal derech. So he discovers a mace lying across the road. There's no way you can pass without encountering the mace. L'truma tameh. So when it comes to matters of truma, we treat you as tameh. Uben Nazir, we say Pesach, when it comes to those two items, tahar, because it is Tumas HaToim. But when do we say that for truma he is tameh? There's no way to cross without encountering the maze. But suppose there's some place that you can just walk without encountering the maze. Then we say, it's a suffix, b'shesarab, it's tar. Even for matters of truma, we treat you as tar. When do we say that if there's no, empty space on the side to pass safely, you're tameh shamatzei shalem, when they found the mace completely intact? But if it's broken apart or separated, even if there's no spaces on the side to pass safely, we say that he's tar because perhaps he wiggled his way between the parts of the mace. We have right to assume Shema bein prakav of our, perhaps he passed between the parts. Ube kever. However, if the mace is lying in a kever with an airspace, then we say afilu meshubam referuk tama. Even if he's it doesn't matter. Even if it's broken apart, even if there are slots to walk through safely between the chalakim of the mace. Tummy. The person who walked by is tummy because the kever is a single entity which sort of combines and unites all the parts of the mace, and anything above that kever is tummy. There's no way to get through there safely. When do we say that if the mace was not found intact, there's reason to believe that perhaps he wiggled by the parts and he was spared the tumah? If he's walking by foot, so perhaps he, slid through safely. Avoton, but perhaps if he's loaded with a load and he's like sort of hunched over and taking up a lot of space, if he's riding on an animal, then he's moving around and he's shaking back and forth. Then he's tummy. The Bryce explains. Person walking by foot, it's very possible that he wouldn't touch the mace, that he wouldn't move it, he wouldn't lean over it, he would just slide by safely. It doesn't take up so much room. But if he's in those positions, The assumption is that he did encounter the mace. When do we say that even if there's no way, if it's inevitable that he touched the mace, or that he leaned over the mace, still we treat it as a tumas hatayim, and regarding Pesach and Nazir, he's considered tar. That's only betumas hatayim if it really qualifies as tumas hatayim. Avol tuma you do, but if it's a known and revealed tuma, shalosh tan tmeim, all three individuals, the Nazir, the Eisei Pesach, and the fellow looking for truma, they're all considered tamei, because, as we said, it's inevitable. You encountered the mace. Ve'ezei tumas hatayim. What is considered tumas hatayim? Like we said before, kol she'in makira echad b'seif ha'olam, provided there isn't a single person out there that knows about this. So at least in terms of its position, it would appear that nobody ever knew about this mace. It's sitting, covered by stones, whatever. Makira echad b'seif ha'olam. But suppose somebody does know about it, ein zayt tumas hatayim, it doesn't qualify as time. And we have some examples. Hayotam b'temen, it's buried beneath hayo, b'tzreis, beneath some stones. Harezu tumas hatayim. So by way of its position, it would appear that it's a concealed tumah. It qualifies. B'yamim, if it's sitting at sea, ba'afela, in the darkness, kiki asloim, in a crevice within a boulder, so then it's revealed. It's not covered. Ein zay tumas hatayim. That doesn't qualify as tumas hatayim. And finally, v'lei omru tumas hatayim el meis b'lbad. This whole idea of tumas hatayim only applies to tumas meis, but not to other tumas. So in summation, we learned about tumas hatayim today. It's halacha Moshe Messina with some psukim as asmachtos, and there were several conditions for tumas hatayim. Firstly, it only pertains to tumas meis. It only pertains to a Nazir and an Eisei Pesach. It only pertains to a tumah which is concealed, unknown to people. It only pertains to a situation where the fellow who encounters this tumas hatayim did not have a cheskas tumah to start with. And finally, it only helps you when you discovered it after the fact. So in the case of the Nazir, after the teglachas. In the case of the Eisei Pesach, after the Zrikas Dama Pesach. All the best to you, Hatzlacha Rabbah, and B'suras Tevis.